Okay, so here we are today visiting our bit of our gumweed patch. And this gumweed is Grindelia integrifolia. So it's a plant with integrity. You can count on it. And this plant is mostly used medicinally for making a more productive cough, getting things to come out when you're sort of clogged up. And it also can be used topically for poison ivy, poison oak as well. It helps dry out the sores. So at any rate, it's medicinal plant. I noticed that there's quite a bit of honeybees working it at the moment. So it's also, this is our pollinator hedgerow here that we're part of. So this is a pollinator plant. It's native to the Pacific coast. I don't know exactly how far. At least around the Salish Sea, and I don't know how much further its range is. Maybe into California. I don't know, but it's gumweed because everything about this plant has gumminess, but especially these unopened flower heads. They have what we call snot in the trade. There's a lot of snot on there. It's the white rosin. So this is a rosin plant. So the rosin, you can look it up in rosin books, and it'll talk about this particular rosin. But it's used medicinally, and as the plant matures, and there's less gumminess. You can see even the flower petals are gummy, so you could use it a little bit decoratively, and a little bit of face. You could anyway. So there's another use for it, but it's mainly as a medicine. And the reason we have this is one plant I'm standing on top of here. Here it comes out of the ground. This is the third year of this plant. First year it was just a little baby. Then we bought the babies and planted them from Fourth Corner Nursery. It's a really good nursery for native plants. And then last year we got a big harvest from this. These plants were, I don't know, the individual plants were maybe about the size of this one stem here. But since we harvested them so frequently, a bunch of them thought that they hadn't done enough seed yet. So a lot of them overwintered. You can see down here, there's like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plants or so that overwintered. Most of them did die, but they got to be huge. This is the biggest gumweed plant I've ever seen in my life. And I harvest them in the wild as well as growing. This is our second year growing them in the farm. And we're growing these for the seed crop. So there's a lot of seed here, but here's one that's ripe. So you can see they're quite a large seed here. I don't know if those all look filled. It'd be interesting to do a germination test on this. So we'll see if more what the other ones look like. But anyway, we hope we get a really big seed crop from this, so we can sell seed to more people and spread the wealth, because it's another beautiful pollinator medicinal plant.
And how do you harvest it?
We harvest let's see, we harvest this and this. We try to harvest it before there's any of the pollinated ones. You can see that one's pollinated because of the brown. But we like a lot of open flowers, so it's nice and cheery. Some that are just beginning to open, but there's a lot of goo on that. And then it's nice to have a bunch of the snot balls before they even open. So I think the snot balls, the flowers, and the young flowers is the main thing. And we see even here's a little tiny flower, really lots of rosin on that too. So you could use that whole thing. That's what we deliver as a product. We might try to get it a little bit shorter, something like that. So it's a bit of stem as well as the calyx is where most of the rosins are. But the rosins are the whole thing has rosins. But at any rate, lovely plant, and we've been selling maybe up to a couple hundred pounds a year of Grindelia It also grows in eastern Washington, by the way. We have a different species over there called Grindelia squarosa. And whereas this plant has integrity, that plant is kind of square, if you know what I mean. But at any rate, the squarosa is very drought tolerant, grows in very dry, saline and alkaline environment. It's an alkaline plant or a halophyte. These plants grow on the seashore where it's really salty and it's hard to uptake fresh water because of the salt. So this is a drought tolerant, saline, alkaline tolerant plant that grows both in eastern Washington and on the seashore because they're very similar habitats in terms of physiology of this plant. So interesting to know.